Today I am going to show you a 5th grade lesson on how to create a Parfleche, which is a Native American bag that they would use to carry around their items, and they would make theirs out of leather. So we created ours out of this light paper. To get started, we took the piece of paper, which is 6 inches by 18 inches, and we folded it up so that we had a small flap at the top, and it was up to my students as to what size they wanted that flap to be. And they just created a crease right down here at the bottom, and then they took the top and creased that over, folded it over, and made a crease there as well. So now they had the Parfleche, which they could design on. So we designed with our papers closed, with the flap closed, and we chose either Dakota, which were geometric designs, or Ojibwe, which were floral or flower designs. Once my students have finished designing using their pencil, they may now move on to using a Sharpie to outline all of their lines that they want to keep. When they're done using the Sharpie, they'll then use an eraser to erase all of the lines that they do not want anymore. So I am just finishing up with my Sharpie. And then I am going to take my eraser because there's a couple lines that are showing that I don't want. I'm just going to erase those lines. And then today we're going to use colored Sharpie to add the color to our Parfleches. I want to use bright colors or primary colors, whatever colors that you would like today. Once you finish coloring, it is time to create the closure. That is what is going to keep the flap closed. So you're going to need a hole punch and a pair of scissors and some yarn. So I'm going to take the hole punch and my Parfleche, and I just want to punch the holes in the top 2 layers, not in the back of my project. So I'm going to just take those 2, and I'm going to stick the hole punch right through. And I can put them wherever I want, but I'm going to put them through these top 2 layers, and I'm going to kind of use this to help me keep it even. Punch the hole right there. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. Again, keeping those 2 separate so that I am not punching in the back. I'm just punching through the top 2 layers. Now I have the holes where I can create the closure. So I'm going to need some yarn. So I'm going to pull the yarn. And I'm not going to need a lot, maybe about a ruler's worth and a half, maybe about 18 inches. I'm going to take that, going to open my Parfleche up, and right in the inside, I'm going to put one side, the yarn right through, and I'm going to put the yarn through the other side. I like to keep that even, and then it will go through the top from underneath. So I'll put it right here and right through here. And now I have it where I can close it and open it. So I'm going to leave that open for right now because the next step is going to be to sew up the sides. To sew up the sides, you're going to need a small weaving needle. And I took about an arm's length of yarn. At the end of the yarn, I'm going to tie a knot by putting it around my finger, taking the tail and tucking the tail through the loop and creating a little knot down there. The needle is strong enough to go through your paper, so you don't even need to do any more hole punching. So down in the corner where I want to start, I'm going to go in the back and I'm going to push it through the paper and pull it until it gets stuck on my knot. Then I'm going to do a whip stitch. So instead of going down, I'm going to go around and then back. I'm going to put my needle in the back again, poke that hole, and come out. Then I'm going to do the same thing. Going to go around, through the back, coming out through the front, and pulling it tight. If you would like to do a regular under-over stitch, that is totally fine. The tabby stitch that we're working on, the down and up, where I would go down and come out the front, down in the front, out the back. But I'm going to keep doing this whip stitch where I just poke in the back, come out the front, bring the yarn around, poke the hole in the back, bring the yarn out through the front. And I'm going to do that until I get all the way up, until I can still get things inside of my pouch. So maybe stopping at about where my holes are punched here would be a good spot. Once you have sewn up both sides, then you can pull it close and you're ready to add some decorations. So I have feathers if you'd like to add them, and you can just add them by simply tying a knot around the end of the feather stem. You can even double knot it if you want a little extra security. So I can knot it here, and knot it again. And we can tie our parfleches shut however we want. You can make a little bow, you can tie it in a knot, however you'd like it to close. It's a 5th grade lesson on how to make a parfleche out of paper.